Alright guys, I'm Rabea.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Sounds Like on Andertons TV. How you doing?
How you doing? I'm good. How are you?
I'm alright. It's cold, it's winter. They made me take my jacket off.
Yep.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who are we sounding like today?
Today we are going to be trying to sound like Mick Mars of Motley Crue.
80s hair metal love.
Motley Crue are great,
Yeah.
and I don't even think the hair metal label does them justice.
Well, it might not, but
No.
it's definitely the era they were most popular in.
It is indeed. But yeah, Mick Mars, great player. Really big sound, like a really huge sound. Amp-wise, JCM 800 and Soldanos and stuff. Guitar, he's a Strat man and Kramers and Charvels and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it might be a situation where we rely on our pedals to get that kind of tone rather than the amplifier, so I guess we just go and find out.
Let's go. So Mick Mars primarily uses a Strat HSH configuration with a Floyd, which is niche.
Tall order.
Niche. So I happen to know that Andertons stocks around the right kind of price an HSS Strat with a Floyd.
Well, I just so happen to be stood right next to this. This is an HSH Fender Standard Strat with a rosewood neck and Olympic white.
White.
It doesn't have a Floyd, but it is an HSH.
It is.
And it's £536.
Yeah, I think,
That's not bad.
to be honest, the Floyd is going to be really important for this one.
But that means that I have to be able to use the Floyd Rose to sound like him.
But you're you.
I can't play with Floyds.
But he also tunes a whole step down,
D standard.
which helps him sound massive. So
really, it's a bridge pickup with a Floyd, is what you're
a
saying.
bridge humbucker with a Floyd, I think, is the remit.
Okay, here's one, $3.99. HSH with a Floyd.
Well, there you go. That's quick.
It was pretty quick, but it's £399. It's the RG, so it's made in the Far East. It's probably at the lower end of the price range, but it's got a trem setter in it, which is always nice if you're playing Floyds, particularly with down tuning and stuff. Could be a good option.
That could be a good option.
Well, let's not put all our eggs in one basket.
But I think we should still have a scooch.
Here we go. Oh no, that's a hardtail.
What was this? Which is another Ibanez, the SIXDF 60FM.
Did you know that my friend's dad legitimately called Ibanez Ibanez? He thought that's what it was. Ibanez guitars, yeah. Threw me off.
This could be a shout. How much are they looking at? These are a little bit more pricey. About $770, $780.
A lot of guitar for the money though.
It is.
I think we've exhausted our options at this point.
But I think we should go and look at the Strats with Floyds. I don't know if there's any in the store, but there are some in the world.
This is the Dave Murray signature Strat, and I think it's probably a little bit out of our price range because it's £815.
And I think in this case we do need a couple of pedals.
And it's got a really nice pickup set and a Floyd, but I mean that kind of beats the. In
fact, that would be perfect.
Mini humbuckers as well, so you do get the.
Mate, if this wasn't Dave Murray's Sig and it wasn't that expensive, it'd be perfect.
Here's another Ibanez HSH with a Floyd we just found.
Yeah, this one's $359, which is a little bit cheaper than our $399 for that one there.
What about the Fender? Did you have any look?
Right, so there's a Fender a Fender Standard Mexican for about 660 quid. It's HSS config with a Floyd.
Okay.
However, this is like the right spec and it saves us a bunch of money.
Yeah, and the only difference is that the shape's a little more metal and it's made by Ibanez.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, considering we're going to be using quite a lot of pedals to compensate for the plethora of rack gear.
Yes.
Does it make sense to get something a bit cheaper?
I think maybe we should just go cheap. And if we come in under budget, that is a good thing.
There you go. In the world of amplification,
yes,
and this is going to be, in my opinion, I think we might struggle a bit because obviously with the whole powered rack system, particularly the power amp and stuff, we have to find an amp that really is going to kind of accommodate that tone.
I think I'm thinking it in a similar way to when we did Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell. It's a really big, rich, expensive Marshall, massive sound.
Yeah.
It's a different sound, but it's a similar.
Well, with that logic, we
brief.
should get an EQ, definitely.
We should get an EQ.
G7.
For sure. Yeah. So one of the things that he uses is a harmonizer rack unit.
Okay.
And apparently that's one of the secrets to his tone, and it's used as a doubler. So we were talking about this earlier, and perhaps we might get a doubler.
TC Electronic have brought out something called the Mimic, which is a doubler. And they are available at Andertons, which is great.
Yeah, they're brand new.
So we might take a punt and see if that works.
But classically, Mick Mars plays JCM 800s and then some Soldanos and some.
They're all like plexi, super lead plexis and stuff, aren't
but
they?
it's
Just
all
like hot rodded
expensive
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a few choices, of course. We've always got the Marshall DSL 40. We've got the Black Star HT Studio 20, or the 40, the Club 40.
Yeah.
You know, there's the Ignator stuff, the Rebel and Tweaker, which are very good.
Yeah.
They all have a very mildly different foundation of distortion that we kind of choose it right.
I think specifically with those amps, they're all in that price range.
Yeah.
So.
Or we go, you know, Roland Cube, Katana. They don't have the DT25 combo. That would have been a great shout because that has that.
Why did we could go Ignator?
Which Tweaker or Rebel? Rebel's single channel, Tweaker's dual channel, British modern. I just don't know if it's the right, because the thing about having the G7 and the Friedman and all that is that I think it heavily relies on the foundation we set with the amp.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay, so after much deliberation, we've decided to go for
Black Star HT Club 40.
That is the one. This one here. It's $599, but it gives us that kind of, as you know, the ISF gives us the British and American thing. We can get some high gain tones out of it because it's multi-channel. It's good with pedals. And
I think it's got reverb as well, which it does have reverb.
So
fairly priced, and the Black Star stuff hasn't really ever let us down. So we should just give it a shot.
But that's because we've got a cheap guitar. The guitar's only what, 360. So plus the amp, we're on about 960. So we still have about 550 quid
for pedals.
Which
is perfect.
Loads.
There's the BE overdrive, as you can see. Used it before with Jerry Cantrell. Does a great job. As long as you don't use it, I'll try to get a tone out of it with the wah pedal turned on, because then it'll sound horrible. Which is what we did for about 3 hours last time.
Is that a boona in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me, guy?
What'd you have for dinner, chicken boona? So Matt, you seem to have turned up with more than one pedal.
I went shopping. Basically, this is the Mimic, which is the pedal we just talked about.
And this is the Friedman BEOD, which we know is very good. But also you've got something else.
I picked up a Crybaby wah, just your standard Crybaby, because, well, he uses a Crybaby, so I thought, well, why not?
Is it just a straight up what Crybaby?
He's got a Crybaby rack. I think it's an 80s thing.
How do you have a rack wah?
I don't exactly know what it is or how it works, but basically wah's a big thing, so we've got a wah.
Okay.
But I think that should get us ballparked pretty close.
Okay. Let's go sound like Mick Mars. And we are now back in the video room, Matthew.
Yes, we are, and today is all about sounding like Mick Mars of Motley Crue.
We do. We want to be in the crew, and hopefully this video will give us access.
In the 80s crew.
Yeah.
This is what this is all about.
I'm going to just give you a disclaimer. We didn't use all the elements of the gear that we picked, because the excerpts we played, I don't know, we just didn't use it all. But anyway.
And sometimes when you go, we obviously base our choices on nothing except instinct. So when you get back in the room, sometimes things just aren't.
Yeah, sometimes they just don't work.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll start with the guitar. This is an Ibanez RG series, and this is the RG350ZB.
Catchy.
Pop, yeah, and it's really, it's a real budget model guitar. You know, it's 360 quid.
Yeah, normally we go for something around like 500 to 800 for a guitar, but
a lot of guitar for the money.
it is. It's made in Indonesia, and these are really, really good.
They are. The pickups sound nice. We've got HSH. We've got one of Ibanez's low-profile trem systems, and it's got its own trem setter, which is something that Ibanez are really popular for doing. And we restrung this guitar for the video because Mick Mars tunes to D standard.
He does.
So there's 11 to 56s on this, and this I can honestly say was such a time saver having this mechanism on the back. So that's the guitar.
That is the guitar, and the amplifier here, we've used it before, it's the Blackstar HD Club 40. It sounds good, and it's 2 channels, so it's pretty high gain as well, and as we mentioned before, the ISF American-British switch is handy for trying to achieve those Marshall tones that we're after.
Yeah, and they do show off their versatility to these amps, because we've used them in quite a few different style of artists now. We used it for Foo Fighters and Muse, I believe. No, it wasn't Muse, but we've used them for a few, as I'm sure some of you have seen. Let me just give you the guitar on its own. It's nice. It's a nice sort of thick crunch. Perfect foundation to lay some high gain tones over the top.
What this Friedman's all about,
which
we have used before. This is the BE Overdrive by Friedman.
It's great.
And again, actually, we've been playing with the gain pretty low.
It's a weird thing where it's the overdrive pedal. As soon as you switch it on, it engages the circuit, which just inherently changes the sound anyway.
Exactly.
So we've only used the gain for lead. Like, it's all the way off right now, but you'll hear the difference. This is without. You know, there is a difference there.
I mean, let's crank it a little bit just to show.
Okay.
So that's on half now, and then even on a quarter, it sounds.
We'll put the settings up on screen as well, so you'll just be able to see how we've dialed in the Friedman.
This is the EQ that we didn't use.
We haven't used it because we learned that actually they are mega useful tools when you're trying to find a very specific style tone. So that's why we did it.
Especially, I mean, we used it a lot. I think it was Thin Lizzy. We were kind of overwhelmed by how good it became. Yeah. But it wasn't right here, and it just actually, we found it sounded worse with it on.
And now this
was the kind of the test, the first go of
it was,
something
and this
new.
was Matt's idea, and I'd say it was a fantastic idea because it seems to me like it's done the job.
Yeah, it's a doubler. This is the Mimic by TC Electronic. They're about 110 quid, but from all the research we did about Mick Mars's kind of playing, his rig and all that stuff, he uses this harmonizer rack, which apparently he uses it to kind of to double and to thicken the sound rather than to
harmonising,
give it a harmony.
He has it in unison. I think, from my sort of theoretical knowledge, would be a very mild sample delay.
Yeah.
That it spikes as soon as you hit the note to sound like a second performance is happening alongside you.
You can't really tell when you play an open chord, but as soon as you start chugging, you can kind of just, it's like a tiny little slap back.
Yeah.
Almost.
So, just like that.
It's so mild.
It's so subtle. And then back off. Again. There, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, it sounds double, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if we like, we can stick it, it's on number 1 right now for
Yeah.
dubs. If you stick it on 3, for instance.
Okay. Yeah, it's,
You can instantly kind of hear it does do something.
yeah.
So
And you've got the tightness, as in the tightness between the 3 overdubs. You've also got the amount of effect and the dry signal. So really straightforward pedal. It's stereo as well,
it is, yeah, like
Which-
literally true stereo, so 2 ins, 2 outs.
which is actually a fantastic. I just had a revelation. I'm going to try this in my own setup.
I am too.
Yeah, yeah. But if we give you it with the BE overdrive, let's see how it sounds.
Yeah, no,
Very
it's
mild.
good, it's good.
Useful.
Very, and then we went for a budget delay when we were considering the price of the EQ2, but
Yeah.
now actually we'll be way under budget. So this is a Tone City tape machine,
Mm-hmm.
really used for all those kind of harmonic, divey, overdriven, lovely sounds, which Bea will demonstrate right this second.
There you go. I'm going to boost the reverb back up.
Yeah, and let's have a bit of doubling, a bit of gain, and a bit of that.
Lastly, on the ground,
Is the Crybaby Wah
it is indeed.
by Dunlop.
So what you see is what you get, does what it says in the tin, but here is a sound without any overdrive or anything. So. Yeah, so we've saved £100 of the budget, roughly. And again, we've said this before, it's more versatile than we're demonstrating here. You know, you can do all sorts of stuff with guitars, like this many pickup options,
Yep.
an amp with more than one channel, and tone shaping functions, an EQ. You know, there's all sorts you can do. But we're trying to sound like Mick Mars of Motley Crue.
So let us know how you think we did. As usual, comments below, please. Yeah, let us know how you think we did, and also suggestions for other artists you'd like to see, both without busting and by busting, and any other cool ideas you have.
Yes, please do. All the gear is in the description box. All the links will be there for you to go and check out this gear.
Yep.
Lastly, I've been Rabea,
And I've been Matt.
and this has been Sounds Like on Andertons TV.
Yes, it has.